Hi guys and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 39, 2 billion XLM airdrop, Binance launching an airdrop, and Bitcoin hash rate to hit 100 quintillion. Now, if you are catching this stream live, welcome, and if you are catching the replay and have any suggestions, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking. Guys, happy Monday night. I hope you are having a great day. And if you're not, at least it's one less day you have to worry about throughout the week, right? Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto related news, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto related news, you can join us on the Discord, right? The link's in the description. We do post stuff there. So, anyways, we don't have any main news for the whole crypto market right now. We're just going to go ahead and jump straight into the charts for the main crypto market. And then we're going to jump into Bitcoin news, then charts, etc. You know, you already know the drill if you watch this show. So, anyways, let's do this. For the crypto market, what is going on yesterday, right? Close 2 hours ago of the day. So, yesterday, we had a red day closing at 256.6 billion, which is negative 0.8%. Right now we are sitting at 258.2, right? 258.2 billion, which puts us at 0.53% up, right, from the prior day. Now, Bitcoin dominance. Yesterday we made a red day, sitting at minus 0.09 from an opening of 72.03, closing at 71.98. Right now, still losing dominance, 0.18%, sitting at 71.86% dominance, right? That is what we're sitting at right now for Bitcoin, right? On to the news. Right, so right now, Bitcoin hash rate has stopped at 94 quintillion hashes per second. You know, hashes refer to the overall computing power involved in processing Bitcoin transaction, right? We already talked about this before. Now, basically, the more power that we consume, the more profitable the Bitcoin network is, right? So Bitcoin hash rate, like I said, is expected to hit 100 quintillion hashes for the first time in Bitcoin's history. Now we can look at that in this chart, right? The blockchain chart, and if we look here, right here, it's the date for yesterday at 7 p.m. and the hash rate was 94.77, right? Right now, today's is out. It wasn't out when I started the stream, or not when I was looking at the chart. Anyways, 78, right? So we dropped a little bit from 94 to 78. That's a nice drop on hash rate. However, as you can see, we go down, bounce up. It's just been in an uptrend since it started, and that is fine, you know. Anyways, I think that's the only news we had for Bitcoin. No, actually, we do have another one. The Bitcoin deposited at backed warehouse will be protected for $125 million by an insurance policy. The article did not state who was issuing the insurance policy. I'm really curious as to who is covering backed. Now, as we know, Back started accepting deposits on September the 6th. We already covered this in an earlier episode as well. And, the insurance policy certainly brings some peace of mind to the people that are parking their Bitcoin at the warehouse, right? And, anyways, that's the only news I have for Bitcoin. There weren't that many that were significant, let's say. Anyways, let me adjust this a little bit so you got to look at it better, right? Anyways, price of Bitcoin right now sitting at 10,345.54. Yesterday, right? We lost a little bit. And right now we are making some back up. Staying above that 20 MA, volatility open in the Bollinger Bands, sitting around above that 75% of that equidistant channel that we had traced. Still within that downtrend, have not been able to break out of it. However, we have used that 75% line 3 times as support already. Momentum starting to decrease and sitting around neutral on the RSI, right at 50.08. It's pretty neutral, almost dead center, right? Anyways, what is going on with Bitcoin, right? On the main chart, nothing else has developed yet, on the daily at least. We had that bullish divergence that played out too small, up to the upside. Nothing else developing here on the main, on the much larger scale. We could certainly try and make a sort of triangle or downsloping wedge. You know, that's all that we could trace right now, right? But anyways, we're gonna look at it in the other chart that we do for Bitcoin. So we have all this going on, right? It's a little bit more busy. We have areas of support that we have traced. We're still within the main uptrend, more or less. We've broken out of it and broken back into it. Let's see what is going on here. We had this upsloping channel. I'm just going to get rid of it. We ended up breaking to the upside like we predicted back then. Or not predicted, but what we saw on the data. Anyways, let's look at this closer, right? We had this going on. We said we had some sort of pennant, broke to the upside. Then we retraced basically most of it. Then started to make a bear flag. We said we could break down to the downside. We did. Created some bullish divergence that saw us pop to the upside. And basically, that's what has been going on, right? We're still consolidating more or less. A lot of indecision going on in the market right now. And we're basically seeing that. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that we had back here to clear up the chart a little bit more. I'm just going to leave that channel because that's a little bit more recent. And anyways, we are starting to see some contraction of the Bollinger Band sitting below that 20 MA, actually rejecting it on this candle that we just started 2 hours ago. Starting to make less negative momentum. And let's see where we're sitting on the RSI. Around 47, right? So some potential to run to the upside. However, we're sitting quite neutral. Volume hasn't been picking up lately. So, I mean, volume has been scrubbish as well. Let's get rid of this. We had traced it from when we had that bearish divergence, right? And right now, well, it's no longer applying. So we already broken to the downside like we stated. And we're going to get rid of all this, right? Yeah, anyways, shorter term. Let's go on the 1 hour. Sorry, getting a phone call on the other line. Give me 1 second. I'll just get rid of that. Anyways, let's go here, right, on the 1 hour. What is going on the 1 hour, right? We are making positive momentum. No signs of stagnation yet. Sitting above that 20 MA. Failing to break back into that upsloping channel for the past 5 candles or so, right? We wicked into it, but not actually broken back into it. That's fine. We kind of broke that structure a while back. However, it's nice to know that we can break back into it, putting us on an uptrend, right? Anyways, we're sitting around 53 on the RSI, which is kind of neutral. So price action could go upside or downside. Starting to diverge a little bit more on the MACD over the signal line. And the histogram, like I said, still making positive momentum, right? Let's see what we can do in the shorter scale, right? We're actually just going with the market, right? There's no sort of divergence being developed right now, at least not in the short term. Maybe we just started with this candle, right? Let's see where this is at. This is at 12.71, and this will be 13. So not yet, but close to, right? I mean, these candles are quite close. We could start making sort of bearish divergence that could potentially see us to price action to the downside. We really don't want to see that. If we still make positive momentum but fail to make a higher high than this, then we would have that develop, right? It would be something like this. It would be a hidden bearish divergence, right? It would be something like this, based more or less. And yeah, we wouldn't want to see that, right? Anyways, what else is going on? Still within that. Why I have this line? Yeah, because we developed that bullish divergence. We kind of traced a sort of triangle, right? We said we could break to either side, and we kind of broke to the downside, then run to the upside again, and that was completely fine. We said that could happen. We said we could come touch this 10,231. We actually broke below it, closed just one candle below it, and then run back up. Let's see what else. I'm gonna get rid of this. We already called it, right? So I'm gonna get rid of all of this. Keep it a little bit more clean. Trying to figure out what else is going on, right? We had that bullish divergence pop to the upside. That's fine. We are kind of just moving sideways right now again, right? That's what the market is doing. So not much going on with the market overall, right? We could more or less trace a much larger channel on Bitcoin maybe something like this, just to highlight that trend that we're in, right? We get some nice touch points, some areas of respect for that midline, not 100%, but just to highlight that we are basically down sloping right now, right? We haven't seen any of those bullish signals play strongly for any of the coins, right? So we do expect to see some hype start to happen on Bitcoin when backed, as we near back launch date, which will be September 23rd, and we might see a little bit more price fluctuation by then, right? Right now, a lot of indecision going on, like we stated. Still making positive momentum. Let's see where this takes us. Watch out for that potential hidden bearish divergence that we talked about, and that will be it for Bitcoin. Now, we didn't find any news for Ethereum. Sorry if you guys were looking for some of those, but news for Ethereum have been lacking lately, right? Let's go look at Ethereum dominance on the daily. Yesterday, Ethereum, nice green candle, right? All alts have been getting some dominance, not necessarily a lot of on price, but getting some dominance nonetheless. Like we said, Ethereum making a positive day yesterday, 0.32%. Right now, still making positive day, 1.08. However, we are still sitting below that 8% that we would like to see for Ethereum dominance. Dominance right now sitting at 7.65. Now on the Ethereum chart, for the price, right, $183.77. That is fine. We did break out of this downsloping wedge that we had traced. I'm gonna get rid of this channel. We already broken it, so no point in having it here. We had this upsloping channel. We broke to the upside, right, like we expected, and that's what actually got us outside of that downsloping wedge. We didn't see that move that we wanted. We kind of trail along it, use it as support. However, I would have expected more or less to see let's call it a measure move, right? So if I go from top to bottom, whatever I started, so basically I would expected us to see this pop up, right? And go back at least to 300, right, or somewhere around that area. We didn't get it. We're also not breaking to the downside. If we would have broken to the downside, we could have seen at least somewhere around 31. So we don't want to break to the downside. We want to break to the upside and see those higher prices, right? It could be a large measure move. This pattern has been developing for a while now. We could say since July the 9th. What is going on a more smaller or on the more pertinent time frame, right? The smaller one. We're still making positive momentum. That is fine. Still diverging MACD over the signal line, and that is also fine. I don't like that the pulls that we're getting for price action to the upside have been very tiny, right? And that's because Bitcoin is not playing ball. Now, RSI is sitting at 48, which is more or less neutral. Volatility is still open on the Bollinger Bands. Some contraction going on, but not too much. Let's go on the more micro time scale, right? Let's look at the 4 hours. We had a down-sloping triangle. We set potential price action to the upside. We did get it. That is fine. We're going to get rid of that one. We had some divergence that we called out. That's what saw us to the upside. And what else? Right now, this will be the more micro scale, right? We had trades this yesterday. However, I would be more worried about this right now. If we use the wicks, right? We would be looking at bearish divergence, right? Strong bearish divergence. Price action to the downside potentially. It has not played out very much. We're still like just moving sideways. And if we ignore the wicks, then we would not have it, right? We would be from here to here, or maybe we would have a like class B bearish divergence, right? Almost same height, just failing to and making less positive momentum, right? What I'm seeing right now is that we might be developing another one, right? So it could be from here to here, right? A slightly higher one on the price, and we are sitting at 0.29 here on the positive positive bar that we're making, and here we're at 0.39. So they're very close, right? And right now we would be making again bearish divergence, strong bearish divergence for class A or type 1, which could potentially see us to price action to the downside. We are sitting above that 20 MA, some volatility open on the Bollinger Band, so we could expect movements, right? Sitting high on the RSI, also at 60, could potentially see us We have more room to run to the downside than to the upside. So again, potential price action to the downside. Just keep it in mind as you keep your trades throughout the day, right, or the night. What is going on the more micro scale, the 1 hour? Okay, so on the 1 hour, right? Let's see. We have this long wick. We have this lesser wick. We're making a little bit less negative momentum, right? And here, if we ignore the wick, the same thing would happen, right? We would be going like this. We wouldn't be making any kind of divergence right now, right? Not even bullish or bearish. We're just going with the market, sitting around 60 on the RSI, 60.5, right, which is seeing us on the higher part of the RSI. Bought but not overbought, and that's fine. Still making positive momentum. We just got that cross of the MACD over the signal line. That is fine as well. Touching that top part of the Bollinger Band. So if we manage to keep that 20 above that 20 MA, we might not see that price action to the downside that we talked in 4 hours. However, the 4 hours being a more relative time scale and moving it a little bit slower than the 1 hour, I would expect that we should get it right. So that's what I'm saying. Keep an eye out for that throughout the night. It might play out, right? It might. Now we had some smaller stuff traced here, some other bullish divergences that we're gonna get rid of. We're gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna get rid of this as well. Right. So that is what is going on right now with Ethereum. I'm not charting any levels of resistance right now for this coin, right? I mean, we could certainly trade something around here, maybe something around this area as well, right? It's kind of fast acted as resistance and support previously, right? So it would make sense to see something around this area, but we would have to go look way back, and right now we're just moving sideways. The strong movements that we've had, or the movements that we should have had that were stronger, we're not seeing. So I would wait for something else to play out before we actually try to trace something on the more macro scale. However, on the 4 hours, we could certainly see a downsloping channel of sorts, just to highlight the trend. Right, we do know that we were within a wedge. It didn't play out as a wedge, and or it hasn't still played out as a wedge. And we could potentially be doing something like this, right? Something like a channel, right? And right now, I mean, I just trace it very crudely, but we can see that if I wanted to make it more pinpoint, I could certainly go here and then go here. And we can see that we're almost using that 50% line, or that midline of that channel, as resistance. And we have used it as resistance for a while. We haven't been able to break above it for a while now, right? Since, let's say, over here. So July the 30th, we have not been able to break above that mid part of the channel. If we manage to break above it, then, not a lot of price action. We could probably come up here and touch it and then get rejected. It would put us around depends on when we do it, right? But around, let's say, the 2,220 to the 209 right now, or 200 area, which would be nice. It would be a better move for Ethereum. Now let's go on to Ripple. We do have some news for Ripple. And this is kind of something that we touched on yesterday. We kind of talked about, but we didn't know if it was going to, if we were going to see an actual article about it, right? We did pose a question on recent episodes saying that, are we going to see some hype happening before swell, and is it going to make the price go up, right? And we did say with something that we have to watch out for, right? This article is posing the question as well. Will the Ripple swell conference cause the price of Ripple, to swell or rise, right? Anyways, in the past, during the conference has led to strong pumps in XRP price, right? At least in the past 2 years. Now, some analysts are beginning to anticipate yet another strong rise on the price of XRP, which coincides with the event, right? But you have to keep in mind that XRP hasn't historically pumped during the conference itself, right? So it's one of those like buy the rumor, sell the news type of things. So just keep in mind, we might start seeing some price action to the upside on speculation, and as soon as the event happens, we might see a price action to the downside if you have a position that you can close while the event is happening. And before you see a major price drop, it might be smart to set some stop losses, and keep moving them up as the price goes up, so that when you start to see that price action to a downside, your position can be canceled and you're not exposed to a major drop and lose a lot of your money, right? So place stop losses at whatever level you're comfortable as the price keeps on rising. Keep on moving your stop loss up, right? That's the only article we have for Ripple. There's, like I said, there's not been many news lately for a lot of the coins. We do have another article for Litecoin, and then one for Binance, and then one for Stellar towards the end, and that'll be all right. Anyways, let's go on to Ripple. Ripple dominance on the daily. What is going on with Ripple, man? Right? Anyways, yesterday we had a red day, but we just kind of made it up today in the past 2 hours, right? So yesterday we lost 0.66%. Right now we're getting 0.91%, negating everything that we lost yesterday. That's okay. I mean, everyone's more or less doing the same, right? Let's go on the price. What is going on? Ripple sitting at 0.262, right? Or yeah, the full 5-digit figure. It's 0.26243. Anyways, 26 cents. What is going on? We're sitting below that midline of the channel, right? Same as with everyone else. Have been able to break above it. We are sitting below the 20 MA. No, we're actually sitting. Man, I can't see a 20 MA right now. We were closing out of the prior candle. Right now, I am not seeing it here. However, volatility is still open on the Bollinger Bands. That is fine. We're still making positive momentum. Let's say the MACD line, the blue line, is still over the signal line. We have not seen signs of a cross. As long as we keep making positive momentum, we won't see that. What else is going on? Are we having a double top? No, not yet. Still, RSI sitting at 44, right? The more macro scale, we're not seeing very many things develop. Right, let's go on the more micro scale. The day, as you can see, is just very thin, moving sideways, not seeing a lot of action. On the daily, on the 4 hours, we get more action, but it gets negated throughout with the bigger movements of the day. So, what is going on, right? Let's get rid of all this that is just cluttering our chart. This was various divergence that we traced. Bearish divergence on a more micro scale, price action to the downside. We said we were making a wedge. Same thing that happened, right? We broke out, then we went to the downside, and then we kind of basically retraced everything we did. Now we're making a sort of flag. If you want to consider it as a pull and a flag, this would be like a bull flag, which again could mean price potential to the upside. Something I'm not liking very much, at least right now. Let me get rid of all this smaller stuff we had back here, right? Clean up the charts, man. It's good to clean up the charts every now and then. Let's see. Right now, what is going on, right? So, where are we here in height? Are we making less? Yeah, we're making less, but we're making more, right? Positive momentum slightly going up. Price still not quite, but I mean, if we want to call it more or less the same, we would be making again Class B bearish divergence, which again potential price action to a downside. We are kind of fighting that price action to a downside with reversals, basically. So, let's say buyers are negating lower prices, right? You mix XLM? No, not yet. We haven't gotten to XLM. That's going to be the last article that we cover, David. Thank you for watching, man. Anyways, watch out for this divergence. Could potentially mean price action to a downside, even though we're not getting it. We're negating it. We're making this sort of flag again, like I said, on that top part of the channel. Volatility open on the Bollinger Bands, sitting above the 20 MA. And we made a very slight negative momentum, right? Almost non-existent. And right now, apparently, we're making another positive bar, right? We're getting these small squigglies right on the MACD and signal line. Like I said, sitting around 55 on the RSI, which is more or less neutral. Let's go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, right, we can see this much better, right? Look at all this. We're just basically moving in a down sloping channel. That is fine. It could be bullish potentially, right? We are sitting on top of that, touching the top of the RSI, making a larger green candle, right? However, things that I don't like. If we use the bodies, we'll be fine. Like I said, it will be congruent with the market, right? A high in a higher high and going high on momentum, right? But if we don't use that and we actually use the wick, then we will be seeing like hidden bearish divergence, right? And it depends on what you want to see in the market. Again, like I said, this is very subjective, right? If you want to be bearish, you're probably gonna look for bearish signs. If you want to be bullish, you're gonna look for bullish signs. Right now, I believe that since we've been pumping, right, and we're sitting a little bit higher on the other side, we might see some price action to the downside, particularly with what has been happening. Let's see, from here to here, we kind of had some, maybe, let me see, this one was at 0.00059. 0.0072 now. Still more, right? So we're making a lower low than this low, right? This is a little bit higher, but we're also making less momentum, so we would be again going with the market. The only thing that I would see right now, like I said, is this potential hidden bearish divergence, right? And it's potential because we don't know yet, because we could trace it here and it would be nothing, or we could go here and it could be something, right? Again, if we're making this sort of down sloping flag or channel, if we want to consider this a pole or a pool of some sort, then yeah, it could be potential bullish, and again, we could see price action to the upside. Guys, it just depends on what you're looking for in the market, right? Trying to see if on the MACD line we're making something. Anyways, that would be the 1 hour for Ripple. I really, with the market moving sideways more or less, still within this major channel, there's really nothing else we can do, right? We broke out of this down sloping wedge. We're not getting the move that a wedge would bring, which would be a measure move, right, of the wedge. So for Ripple, it would have been a potential move of, let's go here, and this could have, oh man, this is acting weird now. No, not that one. There we go. Nope. And he's not letting me move that square now. Oh, let's get rid of that. Anyways, here we go. Okay, cool. Man, why is he not letting me move? There we go. Man, are you... Anyways, with that potential price, with that movement, at least we should have seen 38 cents. We're not seeing it, right? So, like I said, the signs that we're getting, the signals that we're getting, they're not playing out as they should. We have our resistances traced, right, and our supports. So if we break to the upside and we don't face resistance from this midline, we would face resistance around 27 cents, right? We used it as support for a while. Could be resistance, and then we again see resistance around 30 cents, which again it will be a kind of resistance that we face, and it's again psychological resistance, right? That'll be it for Ripple. Let's go on to Litecoin. Litecoin Foundation's co-founder Xingxi Wang revealed that the foundation is considering releasing a project-based community crowdfunding system, right? Which is a little bit better than what they were doing, right? They were just depending on people to donate to them for them to have things done. Right now, they're going to publish the projects that they have going on before they actually ask for money. Now, the system is said to be very similar to the one that Monero uses. Litecoin Foundation requires 45 Litecoin to meet its 2 milestones, which are to develop the system and its maintenance for 2 years. Now, contributors were required to send their donations to the foundation's escrow wallet address. Wang kept consistently keeping the community updated with the amount of donations that that the project was receiving. They required 45 Litecoin, like we said, and they ended up receiving 48 in just 24 hours. Now, the foundation also disclosed how it would go about with the crowdfunding, and basically, every project idea that is put forth by the community would be discussed and processed. So soon after that, the project leaders would have to persuade the community to donate Litecoins for their projects, and the foundation would further give out funds after every milestone of the project, right? That's the only article that we have for Litecoin. Let's go look really quick at the coin and see what is going on. Litecoin on the daily. Yesterday, we gained some market dominance. Today, we lost some, right? Very, very slight. Or did we gain or lose? It looks a little bit reddish, but it's green. 0.02% up. Right now, we're still going up 3.12%, sitting at 1.78 of market dominance. A price of Litecoin sitting at $72.67. What is going on with Litecoin, right? Same stuff that's going on with everyone else. We're still below that midline of the channel, broken out of that down sloping wedge with not a violent move like we would expect to get. Momentum still being on building positive momentum, right? Stuff I don't like. Again, this is higher than this. So if we don't manage to make a nice price action to the upside, we would be making some sort of hidden bearish divergence, right? And that wouldn't be very good. Right here, we would have it as well, right? So it'd be from here to here. Now, we don't really want to be seeing bearish divergence on a Litecoin. We would really expect it to pump to the upside after being so low on the RSI. However, right now, even though we have failed to move to the upside, we are kind of neutralizing everything. So oscillators are resetting, and they usually do that with time. So right now it's sitting at 49.92, almost neutral, right? Neutral would be 50. Let's go look at what's going on the more micro scale. Let's go into 4 hours, right? Sitting off that 20 MA, volatility open on the Bollinger Bands have been bouncing off that 20 MA for a couple times now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times at least. We had some sort of resistance here around $70.81. We are breaking above that right now. We haven't confirmed a candle close above it. Right, the fake one we had kind of reversed right after that next 4-hour candle, and then we've not been able to go above it again until today, which could be good, right? We could come back, use it as support, and then bounce up. What else is going on? We're making a positive momentum bar, stuff I don't like. Again, making bearish divergence, right, from here to here, and from here to here right now. But we're just starting to build this positive momentum. If we can keep making price action to the upside, this will cancel out. However, there's a lot of momentum that we have to make, right? Let me get rid of all this old stuff here real quick, clean up the charts a little bit. All these other divergences that we traced that have not really played out strongly as we wished. Now, sitting higher on the RSI, right, at 63.28. So we have room to run to the upside, but it might not be too strong, right? We had this sort of a pennant that we were tracing, right? We had this one that we said potential break to the upside. We did. The other one, we weren't sure. It was too small of a pattern. Right now, on the more micro scale, we would be in a smaller uptrend, right? If we were to go from here to here of sorts, and then here, we would be sort of going on an uptrend. I just want to highlight that uptrend. I really don't want to call it a channel or anything. Just want to say that we are going up, so you guys can see it easily, right? Slightly inclination to the upside, but we are going up anyways. Let's go on the 1 hour. What is going on the 1 hour, right? Again, right, we can see it a lot more clearly here, right? That bearish divergence that we talk about, right? Failing to make those higher prices, right? Anyway, sitting high on the RSI at 67, still making positive momentum. No signs of stagnation yet. We had some nice volume coming in the past hour, and sitting above that 20 MA. That's a very sharp move to the upside. Watch out for a potential pullback. Even though it's not a very strong move, like let's say from here, it would be $68. Went all the way up to $73. So a $5 move, right? We could potentially see a pullback of sorts. Maybe, like I said, using this line as support, testing it, and then bouncing off again. That'll be it for Litecoin. Let's go to Binance. What is going on with Binance, right? Binance is basically they're gonna initiate an airdrop, right? And that's pretty cool. If you have access to Binance, and this is basically part of the Binance acquiring JEX, right? The futures trading platform that we talked about, which would be basically rebranded Binance JEX, as we also discussed back then. Binance will convert the ERC20 JEX tokens into local Binance chain-based BEP2 tokens. Now, Binance JEX will help every one of its clients exchange these tokens, right? And 200 million JEX tokens will be circulating among all Binance coin holders on Binance.com. Beginning of October the 2nd, Binance JEX personnel will manage the distribution of the tokens to the holders of Binance coins on a every month basis. Basically, every month they're going to be distributing some. To be eligible for the airdrop, clients will need to hold a minimum of 10 Binance coins consistently every day to be qualified for the airdrop, right? Now, this month-to-month airdrop first will run for one entire year and might be balanced in the subsequent year, dependent on future conditions, basically, right? We're going to move on to the Binance analysis and see what is going on, right? Let me get some water. After this small analysis, we're going to see the Stellar article. I know a lot of you want to see that, right? Anyways, yesterday, negative day, right? Losing some dominance, losing 0.55%. Right now, losing 0.27, sitting at 1.34 of market dominance. Price of Binance sitting at $22.15. Again, within a downsloping channel below the 20 MA on the daily, right? Starting to make positive momentum. Nothing wrong going on with what's in the market. We're just congruent, right? Higher, lower, higher, and lower momentum. That's fine. Same thing happening on the larger scale, right? We have this bullish divergence that we said could play out. We saw a small price action to the upside, not as violent as we would like to see it. Even though we also broken out of this wedge a while back, we never saw that nice price action to the upside. Let's go on the smaller scale. Oh, we're sitting low on the RSI. I'm not sure if I said it, but we're sitting at 37.8. Lots of room to run to the upside, right? Let's go on the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, some contraction on the Bollinger Bands, right? We might see an explosive movement upside or downside right now. We'll try to determine where. Where are we sitting at here? Low, higher low, that is fine. Are we making more? Yeah, I think we are. 0.51 and 0.4. Yeah, so definitely. From here to here, and from here to here, we would be making hidden bullish divergence, right? Price action continuation, usually that's what it means. We had called this bearish divergence price action to the downside. We did get it. We called this bull flag price action to the upside. We did get it as well. So we haven't been that bad at calling stuff out. Anyways, let me get rid of all this other stuff here. Make this a little bit clearer and cleaner, right? So we're gonna get rid of this, what we call it, and we can always go back to previous streams to see what we did, right? We had this sort of wedge with trades yesterday. Again, upsloping after a pull down. It's bearish. Price action to the downside. I think we call it during yesterday's stream. We are getting it, so that is fine. We're nothing to worry there. Yeah. Anyways, like I said, potential hidden bullish divergence, right? Sitting above. Oh man, I got rid of the Bollinger Bands. Give me 1 second. Indicators. There we go. I think you want to get rid of those, right? Contraction on the Bollinger Bands starting to neutralize that negative momentum, and sitting around 47 on the RSI. Steve Channel Art, hey, how's it going, man? You just made 500 from an upload. You gonna invest it all in some crypto? Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Hey, thank you for showing up, bro. I think we commented on our videos a while back. Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Which crypto are you thinking about investing on? Anyways, like I said, we're making sort of an upsloping wedge. Means potential price action to the downside. However, with what has developed now, we could go here and we could call it a smaller upsloping channel again. That'll be it for Binance on the 4 hours. Let's go look at the more micro scale, right? The 1 hour. Binance, some contraction of the Bollinger Bands. You're thinking about Litecoin. Oh, man. Really? Why? How come? It's just seeing some price action to the upside, but the main trend has been not kind to Litecoin, right? There is potential to run to the upside. I mean, you can invest it wherever you want, but we are bouncing off these old areas of basically sort of support. The signals that we have been getting, we talked about, they haven't been playing out very strongly right now, right? But that is pretty cool that you want to invest it on Litecoin. I'm not holding any Litecoin. I basically don't not want to diss the token. I just don't like very much what they've been doing with it lately. But yeah, it's been up down, but it seems like it might go up long term. Yeah, a lot of the alts are looking the same way, right? They've been going down. None of them have really recovered strongly. Right? It seems to be recurring with a lot of the alts. But yeah, it's pretty cool that you want to invest in some crypto, man. Anyways, tightening of the Bollinger Band. We might see a movement. I'm trying to determine what else is going on here. This will be fine. There's nothing else here. Maybe. Let me check this one out. We would be more or less here and here. Well, yeah, maybe. 0.016, 0.15, right? We could be making some sort, but it's very slight. I mean, I wouldn't want to call it 100% on this, but we could be making some sort of hidden bearish divergence, again, price continuation, but we're just moving sideways on Binance right now, right? More or less sideways. Making positive momentum starting to stagnate, right? And we might see a cross of the lines. However, it's like indecision in the market with everyone else, going down, going up. You sold all but your Litecoin when it dropped last year. Oh, cool. how are you doing with your Litecoin? How are you up or are you down on your Litecoin? Anyways, that's it for Binance. Let's go jump on that main article for Stellar, right? Because although it could be weird to get that Stellar, man, I tried and it's not really working out for me. Anyways, Stellar has decided to give away roughly 124 million in XLM token or coin. Today, Stellar announced the massive giveaway in cooperation with Keybase, which is a group messaging community and file transfer hub. If you can go and download it and see if it will let you participate. I tried to download it today. I did get that app, and as soon as I tried to claim that, um, the airdrop, it told me I wasn't eligible. Basically, it stated that you had to have it, I think, prior to today. So I'm not sure if you guys will be able to get it. Anyways, they announced that Stellar Development Foundation CEO Danelle Dixon stated that Keybase will be giving away the 2 billion XLM over the next 20 months. Yeah, 20 months. So it's a while, right? Maybe you might be able to get into the airdrop later on. Right now, it said you had to have it prior to today. So, what application is there a link? Yes, it's in the article, man. If you go to the article, actually, it's not in the article. You can look it up. It's called Keybase. Let me see if I can highlight it here. Keybase, like this. Right, I highlighted it for y'all. Now, yeah. Wow, so you made some nice cash, man. Almost double your investment, right? That's pretty nice. Uh, and it, yeah, right on. Yeah, yeah. Look for it, man. You might be able to get some. I got some off the airdrop from blockchain, but not from here, right? You want to buy then? You want to buy by then? It's at 72. Yeah. Right now, what do we say it was sitting at? Right, 72. So, I mean, it has recovered some. I guess we could say we have recovered to prior to the August drop that we saw, right? And that's kind of cool. We're still, like I said, we are above this channel right now. We should wait for a confirmation or a candle close above it to make sure that we are really set for this, right? If we come back and touch it and bounce off it, could be cool. Anyways, let's go back to that Stellar article real quick. Dixon referred to the Stellar Foundation values, right? The reason for the giveaway, stating that she thinks that it has to do with who they are as a foundation, right? The Stellar Development Foundation was founded in 2014 as a non-profit, non-stock entity, right? You don't think XLM is looking good, but you still believe? Yeah, XLM is also one of those ones that is really down, and we actually look at that chart. We usually don't look at XLM, but we will look at it today because of the article, right? Anyways, she's stating also that their global focus on financial inclusion using blockchain and other technologies, focusing on the unbanked. So from that standpoint, what this kind of thing does as an airdrop is actually brings more attention to the ability for technologies like this to be able to effectuate nicely, cleanly, and efficiently cross-border transactions to help the unbanked and others out there in the world. Really, what I hear when I see this is we're not having a lot of adoption of our token right now, and we need a lot more people to come and look at us again. And I believe that's what they're trying to do, right? Now, as the SDF initially partnered with Keybase back in 2018, Kathy Corwin, who happens to be the spokesperson for Inkhouse, which is Keybase's PR agency, said, we definitely expect the airdrop will bring new users to Keybase, and I believe they want more adoption for their token, like I said, which has not recovered very much since the drop in value, right? Look, we'll look at it. I actually opened it today. I haven't seen it in a while. Let me go on the daily. Look, we're even getting gaps, at least on this chart, right? Look at the movement on the hour. It's almost nothing, dude. The dojis don't move. There might be another chart that we can look at for sure. This is the one I found quickly. At least on a real dollar pair and not having to use like something else, right? We did have that pump with everyone else, but even though we have dropped, we have not seen that recovery that everyone else is seeing, right? Look at this compared to, let's call it Ripple, which is a more similar coin, right? Ripple on that same time scale, right? Look at this. Nice action to the upside, dropping and then trying to recover some, at least here, and then moving sideways. XLM is not getting that, man. You know, it just keeps on going down. We did not see that recovery that everyone else saw right now. Do I hold any XLM? Yes, I hold XLM. Very little though, because they haven't recovered very much, and I would expect them to recover at some point in time. But man, this looks really nasty, right? On the daily, at least from when this chart starts, all we see is downtrend, right? This is what I don't like very much. Could go here to here on the channel, right? And we can even go here, more or less, right? I just want to give you guys an estimation. If we were to go here, we would be on that other part of this 75 to 100% of that equidistant channel and failing to break out. We're just moving, we're going down, man. This is very steep movement, right? And we have not been able to recover any. That's why I'm not holding any of this coin right now. I'm not seeing any signals that might indicate recovery on the short term. I'm going to trace it the other way. I think I get better contact points if I go from here to here and then up to the upper limit, and then I'll just extend it. There we go. That seems a little bit better, right? I'm going to get rid of this much larger trend. Let's focus on this one. Look, we have not been able to break above that 50% line very well. We broke above it, but once we broke below it, it's just been hard resistance, right? And even though we have contraction on the Bollinger Bands, nothing seems to be playing out for this coin. Let's go on the 4 hours, see what's going on. Look here, we got some bullish divergence that didn't play out very well, right? Higher low, lower low, and on momentum, we are having a higher negative momentum, less negative momentum, right? And we are not seeing the price action pump that we would expect to see. That's what we want to see, a much stronger pump. We did get some slight action to the upside like everyone else, but, you know, it's not really doing much. Yeah, down seems to be the thing. Yeah, all the altcoins are the same, right? We pointed this already, like Litecoin within a downtrend that has not been able to break above that 50% line. Ripple within that downtrend, this one that without being able to break above that 50% line. Ethereum, right, within a downtrend not being able to break above that 50% line. It's a recurring pattern with everyone, right? Because Bitcoin is such a big player on market dominance. Bitcoin dominating 71% of the market, it just basically tells a beat, right? And even Bitcoin is still within a downtrend, right? Anyways, if you guys can go and look at that, check it out, right? Check out that app. Let me know if you were able to claim it. I was not able to claim it. I downloaded it today. I really wanted to get my hands on some free lumens, right? And yeah, it didn't work out. The ones that I got, or the ones that I'm holding right now, I got them from an airdrop on blockchain.com, and I didn't cash them out because I got them for free, and I want to see how this plays out. Although when I got them and where they're sitting at right now, it's probably dropped more than 50% in value, right? I should have sold them and gotten something else. I think I got them around here. I think I got them here, man, prior to this run up, and I should have gotten out here. But look, it went from almost 16 cents, right? A little bit above 16 cents, and it's sitting right now at 6 cents. And it hasn't been able to recover strongly. Again, a lot of potential when it starts to pump, right? And alt season comes. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all for today. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. If not, then we're going to call it quits for the stream. You got one. Okay, cool. Shoot. And if you were on the Discord, you would have seen that we actually did have that. We had that link up, right? I'll open up the Discord, right? Look, we actually sent this link to everyone on the Discord earlier today, so you could try to get in. We sent it at 11:53 in the morning. I think this one also has the name of that app, right? While you come up with the question, or it gets typed out on the chat. So if you're not on the Discord, you should join it because we do post stuff there, right? We send like sometimes news updates throughout the day. We send charts throughout the day if we believe that things should be seen, right? So here we had some of the articles that we covered throughout the day. So yeah, guys, you should join it for sure. Yeah, yeah, it's cool, man. It's not for you; it's for everyone that's out there, right? They should join it. We do stuff there. Why is Bitcoin so dominant? Well, because everyone is getting out of the altcoins, right? Maybe because Bitcoin it's having this huge event coming out with, the launch of Backed and Bitcoin ETFs coming, like that will be actually settled in Bitcoin and not in cash. Could be one of the reasons that Bitcoin got so dominant, right? And basically, a lot of people getting their money out of the altcoins. It's just something that has been happening, right? Money has been flowing out of the altcoins and into Bitcoin, especially with people like losing faith on the price of alts, more or less, right? And or maybe hoping to get more for Bitcoin. Look at this; it's an opposite graph, right? Look. This is Ethereum. This is Ripple, right? Ripple managed to hold a little bit better. Like, look at this here, right? We have this nice bump up and hold it for a little bit before we drop. I don't think Ethereum had that nice of a bump, right? It just went down, then kind of make a small U and then down again, right? So Ripple had managed to hold to that dominance a little bit better for a while. And anyways, it's just going down with everyone else. Look at this one. This one would be Litecoin, right? And Litecoin looks a little bit different than everyone else. This would be June, and we've been dropping since. But I mean, Litecoin lost a lot of dominance, so you know, yeah, this would be September, right? Not even June. The time scales look different a little bit. What would this be? May 19th. Let's just go from May 19th, right? The latest part of the year. This will be Litecoin, right? Gaining a little bit more and then dropping it again, but dropping it sharply, right? Dominance has been going down for everyone else, except Binance. Binance has been more or less steady because it's a utility token, right? It gets used by the exchange. Every time you want to make a transaction on Binance, you get preferential rates if you're using the Binance token. That's why we might not be seeing it drop so much in dominance because it does get used every day. But money has been just flowing out of the alts, man, into Bitcoin, or not necessarily into Bitcoin, but sometimes it could be even flow out of the market, right? If the market has 10 and Bitcoin has 6 and Ethereum has 2, and you take one of Ethereum or Ripple, and you just leave one, the market has 9, so Bitcoin dominance goes up, even though that money didn't necessarily go to Bitcoin, right? And that happens sometimes. People get or take their money out of altcoins and put it in Tether and everything else. I mean, the market started to go down a little bit. We are within a downtrend right now. Not a major one, but we are still within a downtrend on the market, right? We could even go bigger than that smaller downtrend, and we could probably do something else, right? Look at the more macro scale, right? That impulse up. This was last year around September. Went up, went back down to that 25 line again, went back up a little bit, kind of just went along it on Ripple. Went up a little bit, went down into it again. That this seems to be the resting place for Ripple, right? When it's not pumping, it just goes back to 25 cents or somewhere along those lines, right? And that is fine. I mean, I don't have anything against Ripple. I hold a lot of Ripple on my portfolio. I think it's more Ripple than anything else. I do believe in this project long term. Anyways, that'll be it, man. Did that kind of sort of answer your question? I mean, I'm just why is it going up? I believe because there's a lot of expectation to happen with Backed, right? Once it launches, but again, we might see Ripple doing the same, right? As Swell comes near, we might see a lot of price action to the upside, pumping of the coin on expectation prior to the news, on rumors, and then when the event comes out, we might see a drop, right? Yeah. Did that cover your? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, man, it's just right now. I believe it's going more on expectation than actual fundamentals, right? What is going to happen to Bitcoin once back launches? That could be driving a lot of the price up. Litecoin has been having problems, right? on development, on everything else. It makes sense for its dominance to go down on fundamentals. Ripple has had some bad rep going on, if you want to call it fundamentals, right? They're having lawsuits. That could certainly be some of the, and is it a security or not? That's a whole nother thing as well. That could be driving some of the price down. We know that Ripple does put some tokens into the market every month out of the escrow, billion XRP into the market every month to create liquidity and to be able to purchase or improve their programs, network, client relations, etc. And some of that gets used by, MoneyGram right now as well, right? For the transactions, etc. So that it could be one of the reasons why Ripple also has been losing dominance, some bad press. Ethereum has not had that much of bad press. However, there is some worries going on with the Istanbul fork, right? That it could make some of the contracts underperform or get canceled, right? We did cover that two articles ago, I think, or two streams ago. So that could be the reason on fundamentals. If you want to talk fundamentals as to why they're going down, those could be it, right? Binance, like I said, not so many bad news. They had the hack of KYC data. However, like I said, Binance is more of a utility token. It does get used on a day-to-day basis on the exchange. That's why the dominance maybe has not dropped so significantly and has been more or less within a range. But yeah, if that maybe solves the question a little bit better. I don't just want to say that money is flowing into Bitcoin out of the market, although we have seen money flow out of the market. Right, this would be the total market cap, right? Money flowing out since June 26th, right? And if we were to make a fib to know how much we lost or has flown out of the market, we could even do a fib note. Where is it? It's over here. Fib retracement, right? And we could go from this low to that high. Right, and we could say that we've lost around 50% of what it gained from this low, right? So, this could maybe point it out a little bit better, right? Anyways, yeah, that's it for today, man. Someone else is watching right now. Thank you, watcher number 6. If you want to chat, chat is open. Right now, we just finished the news segments. We just finished covering the coins. If you want us to look at something else, we can. And if not, then that'll be it for today. We'll call it a day. David, do you have any other questions, man? All right, cool. If there's no more questions, guys, I kind of stopped the music a while back. I should put it back on, man. Sometimes the ads for Spotify come back in, and I use other software but this DJ has its royalty-free music on Spotify. I should maybe get a subscription to it, so I don't have to remove the music and then forget to put it back in, right? Anyways, guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. And show this to your friends, Have them come and join us. Why not? If you want to get them into crypto, this might be a good starting point, right? We can discuss anything they want, and we can try to answer all the questions that they have the best we can. And if not, someone else in the community might have that answer for them, right? Guys, again, have a great Monday night. I hope the beginning of the week was good. And if not, like I said, at least it's one less day you have to worry about. That'll be all for today. I'll see you tomorrow.